Hello everyone, this is Colin,
Monica.
Timothy?
from the One Stop Co-op Shop. We're going to be doing a playthrough of Pandemic Rising Tide. Now, if you want to see how to set up this game, check out the video before this. I'll walk you through how to set up this game. Otherwise, hang out here and we're going to get started. So the first thing that we need to do is determine who the first player is going to be. How we determine that is we look on our player card. There is a primary defense line number. Whoever has the lowest number there gets to go first. So for an example, this card has 100 kilometers. But our lowest one is Timothy, I believe. What's yours?
Yes, I have 56.
56 with, what can you say the name of that place?
Norduspolder.
Norduspolder. Yes,
My accent is terrible.
That's exactly what I would have said. So Timothy will be first, followed by me, and then Monica. And you guys already saw, so Timothy's the port master, I'm the carpenter, and Monica is the warehouse manager. So Timothy, let's start it off.
As my first action, I am going to build a port in Deathland. Now, I can do this because I am the port master. Normally, to build a port in a region, you should have the card matching that region. But because I'm the port master, I just can't do it. Then, as my second action, I'm going to move from here to here. And I'm going to build another port. So that's awesome. We already have 2 ports on the map.
Now you guys, don't forget what these ports can do. These ports allow all of us as an action to move to that location from anywhere on the board. So it's really cool. It's a little bit different than the research stations. You can move to them. We can't move in between them specifically, but we can move to them from anywhere on the board.
And so also as an action, I can move from a port to anywhere, which is only the port master can do. As my fourth action, I'm going to move from here to here, because that's what the port master can do.
Why are you going over to this region? What are you thinking of doing there?
So to win the game, we need to build 4 structures, hydraulic structures, and they happen to be here, there, to the north, and to the south.
Okay, so what Timothy's trying to do is allow us to have an easy way to get to those locations. Because unlike in regular Pandemic, we have to build these hydraulic structures in specific locations on the board. So he's creating the ports in those locations to make it easier for us to get to them. So after Timothy completed his 4 actions, we now move to the operate pumps. We're not going to show you that right now because we don't have any pumps out. I'm hopefully going to change that on my turn though. Then the next thing is we'll have Timothy draw his 2 player cards.
And so I draw my 2 cards. Let's see. All right, a yellow card, not bad. And another yellow card. All right.
After Timothy has drawn his 2 player cards, we move to the Dikes Fail phase. What we're going to do is Monica's going to draw the top 2 cards of our Infection deck, if you know the Pandemic regular game, but that is our Dike Fail deck. So we're going to have a Dike Fail in a purple region in Nordvest, and another Nordveststopper, so another purple. So we'll lose 1 dike in both of the locations. If there weren't any dikes, we would start to gain water there. Water would flow there. But because we had dikes, the dikes fail first before more water is placed. We'll now move to phase 5 of Timothy's turn, and that is the waters flow phase. Because we removed a couple dikes, we might need to place new water cubes. As you can see, this purple region here now is adjacent to Vollenhoven, and Vollenhoven has no cubes, and this purple region has 2. So because of that, we place a single water cube in that location. Don't forget, 2s go to 1s, 3s go to 2s, and 1s don't spread through the water flow. Now it's my turn. I'm the carpenter. I can create pumps really easily, and I can even build dikes in locations that have water cubes. Really cool. So what I'm going to do for action 1 is to move into this purple region. And then for a simple action, instead of having to discard a card, I'm going to place a pump here. Then I'm going to do the same thing in this purple region. So that was action 3. And action 4 is placing the second water pump. Nice. Then what we're going to do is we're going to place this token on top of our player deck to remind ourselves that we need to operate the pump first before drawing our cards. Since I've completed my 4 actions, we now move to the operating pumps phase. Now this is something totally new to any Pandemic that I've played. What we do is these pumps every round, as long as there is a water cube in their region, can pump water out of their region. But not only their region, they can also pump through a connected trail of regions that have water and are not blocked by either the sea or dikes. So for an example, this pump here could technically go all the way over to this purple region and pump that cube off the board because it's connected here and dikes aren't blocking it and we're not going through the ocean. But I can't go through the ocean this way to try and get to this purple region. So since I have 2 pumps, I get to remove 2 cubes. So for my 2 pumps, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull out one from this yellow region because this yellow region has 2 cards in the discard pile of the Dike deck, the Dike Fail deck. So I'm going to pull off one of those and then we'll just pull off one here. Great. Now I'm going to draw my 2 cards and I can remove this token. I just recommend you guys use this at least at first to remember that operating pump. But we've played a couple times now, so I don't think I need to put that on there. We'll be set to go. So I'm going to draw, I've got an event card. Place 1 dike and 1 pumping station in any one region. Cool. Okay. And then the second card is a green card. Great. Next, we move to the Dikes Fail. Monica's going to flip them. We have an orange region, Vorn. Thank you, Vorn Putin. And so we'll remove a dike here and a dike from here.
I'm going to begin my turn by giving Timothy one of these yellow cards. He now has 3. And I can do that because my ability as the warehouse manager allows me to give any region card to any player as long as I am in a region with a port. Action 2 is going to be to remove this water cube. Action 3, to put up some roadblocks or some dikes. And I think I'm just going to put another one by the sea here.
Yeah, so something to note here is you can put as many dikes as you want on these locations. It's not limited to the what you see here. So Monica's just placed a second one. So if ever Delfland gets hit, we can remove one of these and we still have another dike.
And another note is I had to remove that water cube first. You cannot build a dike in a land that has water unless you're the carpenter.
Yeah, unless you're me, because I'm amazing. No.
We are now going to operate the pumps. So I'm going to continue to remove cubes from 2 cube regions so that we don't just have water flow back in. So I'll remove this one, and I might as well remove this one. I'm going to draw my 2 cards. Ooh, I got an event card too. Any player may give 1 or 2 region cards to any other player. Ooh, I like that. But remember the hand limit. And a purple card. Timothy has too many cards. We move to the Dikes Fail phase. So the first one that fails is this yellow land that I'm not going to try and pronounce. And the second one is Zeus Vlandren.
That's pretty good.
So you think. So we can just remove a dike here. I'm going to remove this one. And then there's already a blue cube here and no dikes to remove, so we'll add another water cube.
Yeah, this looks like an area we're going to have to deal with.
Now we're in the water flows phase, and we do have water movement this time. So we're managing up north pretty well, but this additional water cube down here causes it to flow into Valkern and this land. Zoid Belveland.
So we apologize, but we're pretty sure we missed one water flow a couple turns back. Right over here, you see how there was a dike here? So we think that even though the sea is way over here, it technically connects up here, and so we should have 1 water cube here. We should be set, shouldn't have affected anything of the gameplay, but at least we're up to date now.
As my first action, I am going to build a port just here. And then I am going to move from there to Friesland. And at Friesland, for my third action now, I'm going to build another port.
Jeez, you just build them everywhere. It's amazing.
I know, the port master. He has like a right name for that. And then as my last action, I'm going to move from there to Hoch and Overmaß. Terrible, but whatever that's called. And so I'm going to move there to put the last port, and everything is going to be connected.
That's so amazing. He literally has connected all the places that we need to put our hydraulic structures. So we'll be able to get to them from any region on the board.
So now we're in the pump action, and we're going to pump 2 water cube. So let's pick up this one and then this one. So don't forget, those 2 regions are islands. They are not flat. I know this country is nicknamed Flatland, but you do have some islands in it, so they never get flat. And I'm going to draw my 2 player cards. All right. So Oxevard, a green card, not too bad. And then the second one, a storm. Bummer.
So this is our first storm card. This is just like an epidemic. So the first thing that we have to do is the sea level rises. And this is just like having the infection rate increase by 1. So we'll do that. Then we have a major breach. We'll draw a card from the bottom of the Dike Fail deck. And we'll actually fail dikes there for 3 times. That's how that one works. And then when it rains, it pours. You grab all the cards in the discard pile, which actually for us is kind of a lot in that Dike Fail deck. We'll shuffle them and put them on top of the Dike Fail deck. Our sea level is going to move from 2 to this second 2. So we're still at 2. We're only going to draw 2 around. Once we get to here, though, we start drawing 3. And the seas will have 3 water cubes. Now Monica's going to grab from the bottom of the Dike Fail deck our card that has a major breach. And that's going to be
Vard.
Okay, so now we have to do a Dike Fail 3 times in that location. Fortunately for us, we have a pump in that specific location, which is really nice. So we're going to lose these 2 dikes, and then we have to place 1 water cube here. Now I'm going to have Monica shuffle these cards up and put them right on top of this deck, and then we're going to draw 2 more of them for our Dikes Fail phase. Monica will now draw 2 of them, and let's see which dikes are going to fail now. We've got one in a yellow location, the Dikes Fail. And our second one is another, 2 in the same place. Thanks, Monica. That's called poor shuffling.
Hey, I'll make you shuffle next time.
Thanks to Monica's wonderful shuffling, we now have to place 2 water cubes right in the middle of the land here. Fortunately for us, we do have 2 locations that are high ground, so they're not going to get water cubes. So it's only going to overflow to this location. So now we're going to do our overflows, and we'll place a cube here. Now it doesn't overflow here because there's already a water cube here, and 2s go to 1s, so we're okay there. Thanks to Timothy, we're now going to have to place a water cube in this region, and I hope you guys realize that, it's all their fault. It's not me. I've been doing everything perfect.
Don't worry, guys. We're throwing him punches. You just can't see it.
Yeah, I'm cutting them out. My arms hurt.
It also flows here because there's a little connection right here.
Oh, thank you. I totally would have missed that. And that is something you guys to note. The hardest part about this game is finding the blasted connections. I mean, it looks really cool on the table, but it is really difficult to see where the different regions connect and, to be honest, where they even end. So just be wary of that. And if we do miss some, we apologize. We're trying to see them, but sometimes you miss them. The port I'm going to go to is over here for our first action. Second action is I'm going to come right here. Third action is I'm going to create another pump, which makes me happy. Doing this, so hopefully we don't have to come over here that often. We can let the pump clear out this water for us. I'm going to come up here to this purple region because Monica's going to be amazing. I know I was giving her a hard time before, but she is going to play 2 event cards. Her first one is going to be this, I can't read it, but it's going to be this card that's going to place 1 dike in each empty dike location on a player's region, which is awesome. And you can even do that when there's water cubes there. So this region has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places we can place dikes. The second card she's going to play is this one right here, which allows any player to give 1 or 2 region cards to any other player. Sweet! So Timothy has these 2 green cards in his hand. He's going to give me these. So now I have a total of 4 green cards. I'm 1 away from being able to create the green hydraulic structure. Next, we'll move to operating our pumps. And we're going to remove this cube because, look, it's adjacent, no dikes in the way, and it's connected with water cubes. So we took that one out. And these two pumps are going to start taking care of Monica's issues over here and take out both of these water cubes. Now I'll draw my 2 player cards. And yes, I got a green card. That means I've got 5 in my hand, so I can create that hydraulic system next round. And I've got, a purple card. Now here's the thing. I got more than 7 cards in my hand, so I have to discard, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to discard 2 cards. I said 8. I actually had 9 cards, so I'm going to lose these 2 cards because I can only have 7 in my hand. And now the Dikes Fail. Let's see what Monica kills this time. We have one in the red region, the Zeus Vlaanderen. And we have the Flevoland. Flevoland, we have a pump in that location and a dike, so we'll just remove the dike. And Zeus Vlaanderen is down here. We just pumped that water out. Talk about the right time to do it. That'll end my turn. There's no additional water flow, so we should be good.
This round is going to be a bit of a maintenance round for me because I don't have a lot of cards to give right now. But I can remove this water cube for action 1. I'm going to build a dike since I'm in a land with no water cubes. So that's action 2. And then I'll move here for action 3 and we'll take 1 more out for action 4. So that's the end of my turn. Then we'll operate the pumps. So these 2 pumps are going to take out these 2 water cubes. And then this pump will take out one of these blue water cubes. Next, I draw my 2 player cards. Hopefully I get something so that we can start making some of these hydraulic structures. So my first player card, it is a yellow. Oh, Timothy needs yellow. And then the next one, another purple.
Yeah, Timothy needs both yellow and purple. How are we going to do that?
Next, the Dikes Fail. So let's see which ones we hit this time. Shalvin Dweveland.
And the Market Ward.
In Markervard, I'm just going to take out the dike I just built. And then down here, I'm going to actually take out this dike so that if we ever get water in this land, our pump can access it now. I guess I could access it that way, but we'll make it easier.
Well, the big thing is you're not removing this one so that the ocean isn't flowing into it.
There are no water flows this round, and thus that ends my turn.
My turn again. I'm going to build a port, the last one. My port master has really mastered the art of doing ports. And then I'm going to move from the south of the Netherlands and going north. And here I am near the Zuiderzee. And I'm going to remove that water and build a dike. Nice, so it won't flow again in it. Afterwards, we operate the pumps. So we are going to pump here and here. And we also pump in the south. So here, we're doing pretty good. And third phase, I'm going to draw 2 cards. So let's see. A storm. Why is it always a stranger guy that has to get the bad things, like American movies, right? The Belgian gets it all.
I think that's your second. You've drawn both storm cards, haven't you?
Exactly.
Okay, well here's the yellow for you.
A yellow card. That's good. There we go. Why am I complaining?
Because it's more fun that way, Timothy.
Exactly.
First thing that we do is we now move the sea level up. We're still at 2, but the next time we move it up, we go to 3 around. And you know what? The other thing that's different in this game is when that happens, we then place 3 water cubes in the oceans or in the seas, and so that's going to create more water flows. And Monica just helped me clarify, you don't put 3 more cubes, you put a total of 3 in the seas. So sorry about that. Now what she's going to do is she's going to grab the card on the bottom of the Dike Fail deck, and we're going to have to do that 3 times in this location. What do we got?
Markervard again?
Markervard? Really?
Yeah.
Ow. So hitting Markervard for 3 is pretty terrible. We're going to place 2 water cubes in this region, but then instead of placing a 4th, we have a flood. Now this is very similar to the outbreaks of regular pandemic. Instead of placing a fourth cube here, we go to all adjacent regions and place a water in those locations. Now what we have to do is take this discard pile, shuffle it up, and then do our dike fail. Let's see which dikes are going to fail now. We have Dikes Fail, and we have Shonen Duvenland. Guilders will get 1 water cube, and then Shovenland over here, all we have to do is remove this dike, and fortunately we're still keeping this dike, protecting them from the ocean. Whew, thank goodness. Now we do our water's flow phase, and the water is going to flow over to this yellow region. It's going to flow over to this purple region right here, and this yellow region right here. Ugh. Timothy noticed that we also have to do Delfland, which is terrible, because when we do Delfland, that has 2 now, and it's going to flow to all 3 of these locations over here. We're starting to get a little bit out of control with cubes. We only have 11 left in the supply. So now it's my turn. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fly over to the green port so that I can go and create our first hydraulic structure. Yay! Let's do it. I'll drop myself off here for action 1. Then for action 2, what I'm going to do is discard all 5 of these green cards so that I can build our first hydraulic station. Now each one gives us a special benefit. This one is the remove up to 6 water cubes from any green regions, which sounds wonderful, but we only have 1 green region that has a cube. So let's pull that off. We can remove this cube. Woohoo! 1! Action 3, I'm going to come over here to Delfland and then take action 4 to create yet another pump. We got to start pumping this water out ASAP. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this card that lets us place 1 dike and 1 pumping station in any 1 region. And that region can even contain cubes. We'll place the 1 pump right here and then reinforce the coast right here. Yeah. So now we move to the operating pump phase, and we get to remove 4 cubes over here. We absolutely want to remove 2 from Markerwald because it's very likely we're going to draw those soon, maybe even 2 of them. So we did those 2. We definitely want to do 1 from Delfland over here because otherwise, you know that location down here that we just removed in the green area? It would just get a water cube again. So this way, this one will not have water flowing out of it, hopefully. And then the 4th and final one will be in this region. We also have our little pump down here. We'll pump this water off just to be safe. And then I will draw my 2 cards. So I got a green, which is pretty much useless now. Ooh, good, a red. That's good. Now let's draw our Dikes Fail cards. So we have Markervard, of course, and we have Flevland. We have to place a water in Markerwald right here. So it's a good thing that we pulled that out. But then we're going to Flevland right here, which puts that at a 3, which is such a bummer. Because now we're going to move to the water flows. These 3s all push 2s over here, and a 2 to here, and a 2 to here. Those 2s now are going to push 1 to here in this yellow region and 1 to Betuve down here. We also have from the ocean, this cube comes right back.
For my turn, I'm going to get Timothy his last 5th yellow card, but since I'm not at a port, I'm going to take a cube out of Flevoland first. So action 1 is to move there. Action 2 is to remove a cube. Action 3 to go to a port. And action 4, here you are, Timothy.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're now going to operate the pumps. We know Markervard is a bit of a problematic area, so we'll take 1 out of there. And then we're hoping that Timothy's going to block off the yellow region by building that hydraulic structure. So we're going to try and clear some of the cubes out of the yellow region. So 1 here, and 1 here, and 1 here.
Nice.
We can also pump this cube out, but during the water flows phase, it's just going to come back in, so we'll just leave it there. Now I'm going to draw my 2 cards. A yellow, which we don't need anymore, and another purple for Timothy. Woohoo! We now draw the failing dike cards. First, we do it in Glitter's Valley. And then in Markervard again.
Oh, are you serious?
First we put one in Markervard, and then in this valley between these two mountains. There are no water flows this time, so we move on to Timothy's turn.
My turn again. I am going to go here in Rhine and Isel, and I am going to give my 5 cards. Boom. And build that awesome hydraulic structure. So that hydraulic structure give a one-time power that permits me to put 4 dikes in the yellow regions. So the first one, I'm going to put it there, and the second one there, because we know this card comes up a lot, actually 2 times, I think. And then we're going to put dikes there and there, just to be safe, because it might overflow, who knows. And then my third action, I'm going to go to the infamous Markovard that gives such a bad time. The district is terrible. And then my fourth action, I'm going to remove another water cube. Afterwards, we are going to operate the pumps. And so we're going to remove one here, one in Flevoland, one in Cromer Rhine, and then the last one here.
And
4 less.
Yeah, and we technically did this one first
You can
because
still access it
because it still accesses it. Okay, never mind. That's cool.
Oh, and before drawing my 2 cards, I can pump this one out. Why not? All right, so now I'm going to draw my 2 cards. The first one, purple. That's very good. We're trying to do purple now, so perfect.
How many purples do you have?
3.
Yes.
And I've got 2 to give him.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's very lucky. And then the second card, yes, a yellow card. We don't need
storm.
it, but
no storm.
I'm just glad to not be that stranger guy that just do all the bad stuff, you know.
Now we're going to draw our Dikes Fail cards. So our first one that we have is Zeus Vlanderen, and our second one, I know, it's always hard to flip them the right way, Vorn Putin. Zeus Vlanderen is where we just pumped out last time. So it's actually a good thing that Timothy pulled that out because we don't have to worry about having more water flow into here. And then Vorsputin over here, we can just remove one of these dikes. For my turn, I think all I'm going to do is take a step back into Markervald here and build 3 dikes. Yeah, that's right, 3 of them. And I can do that even though there's a water token there because that's my special ability. I'm also doing all 3 just in this location so that we still have all of our pumps connected to all the regions. But when we start drawing this card again, we can remove those dikes instead of placing more water. We like that. So now we're going to go and operate the pumps. We're going to pull water off in this region and in this region. But now since we did that, we've now inactivated this pump. Pumps only work if there's water in that specific region. We're also going to do this region here for our third one. And then our fourth one, what the heck? Let's get rid of Markerville. We're just going to make this place safer than can be. I do also have a pump over here. So I'm going to pump out of here. Now I will draw my 2 cards. And we have, ooh, an orange. Heck yeah. You know what? I have 2 oranges in my hand. That's going to be the last one that we need to do after Timothy takes care of purple. And the next card is a green one. We don't need that. Now we're going to flip our 2 Dikes Fail cards. So our first one is Zeus Vlanderen, and our second is Vernminger. We'll have to place a cube all the way up here and all the way down here. Fortunately for us, no additional water flow spreads, so we're okay.
I'm going to use my ability this time. I get to give 2 cards, 2 purple ones, to Timothy, and now he has 5. And we're going to try and get all the orange ones to Colin, so I have 1 orange.
Yeah, that's my third one.
I'll give him that. And then I have 1 action remaining, so I'm just going to build another dike, and we'll put it right here. Now we activate the pumps. We only have 3 acting pumps right now, so we'll start with this one, and we'll take one out of Vringamer. And we'll take this one out because it's the only one that this pump can take out.
And now that pump's inactive.
These pumps are doing so good. Lastly, this pump will take out the one from Zeus Landren, which has been beneficial since it keeps flowing back in there. Now I'll draw my 2 player cards. Another yellow. And, oh yes, I got another orange one. If Colin doesn't have them by my turn next time, I'll give it to him. Let's see which dikes will fail. One of the yellow regions, and then Nordstropolder. It's an easy dikes fail. We just take one dike out of here, and we'll take this dike out of here. Just go straight that one. Just one water flowing cube back into here.
We're just playing a little dance over there, it looks like.
Apparently.
The Portmaster again. So I have the 5 purple cards. So I'm going to move to Friesland because that's how you activate the purple power. So I'm going to give the 5 purple cards. Just perfect. And then put that Afsluit dike just here. So it's a big dike, like you could like here. So it will seal the Zuiderzee so that we don't get flooded through here. We're already doing good, but we have to activate it to win the game anyway. And so as my third action, I'm going to actually go here and build a dike there so the sea won't come there if it does.
What's really cool is when you place this dike, Zuiderzee here actually becomes a low-level region. So it's like another place that we can walk through. And if ever we have a pump that can go through this land, it's like land, so we can go right through it, which is really cool.
Now we pump, so we are going to pump here. It's our only pump. And we pump also in the south. Who knows? Now let's draw 2 player cards. Let's hope for no
You know you're going to draw it.
storm cards.
You know you're going to draw it.
Come on. Okay, good. It's a yellow card. We don't really need it. I'm just glad I'm not the one bringing catastrophe on our team. Oh, come on! This storm again. The Belgian of the team had to draw it again. Well, I'm sorry, guys.
Don't worry, Timothy. We know you're not doing it on purpose. But now we are going to move up to the 3 spot on here. So that means our ocean over here, the sea, the North Sea, is going to get a 3rd cube. Thank you, Monica. We'll grab the bottom card of the dike deck. Let's see. Oh, it's a yellow region. Just Delta, something like that. So just Delta is right here, and it looks like 1, 2, and 3. We have 3 dikes to spend, so we don't have to worry about placing more cubes. Yes! Monica's now going to go and grab that deck, the discard deck, shuffle it up, and put it on top of the Dikes Fail deck. Monica will now draw 3 of these cards. So we've got Mark's Vard. Yes! That place is protected! And we've got Verderslinen. And the 3rd is Zeus Vlaanderen. Oh, that's perfect! We'll place 1 in Zeus Vlaanderen. And then we've got Verslanden here, so we do have to place 1. But then we've got Markerswald. Yeah, we protected that with just a few dikes, so we're fine. We only have 2 places where we're going to have water flow. And that's going to be from the Nordsee here over to Vadersland, right here.
Which then flows into this neighboring land.
And then Zeus Vlaanderen will also get a 2nd cube because the ocean here is coming and flowing through, and the ocean has 3 water cubes. And then that's going to chain reaction over to Vulcan right here. We missed 1 water's flow. Should go here from the Zuiderzee. For my turn, I think what I'm going to do is take 2 actions to move over here and then dike off this spot twice. Now we'll activate the pumps. We only have the 2 active up here. So this one, we'll go to the Zuiderzee, pull 1 out of there. And this one, we'll pull out of this location. Don't forget, this awesome pump here is also working, pumping away some water over here. So now, I'm going to draw my 2 cards. Oh, I got an orange. That's 4. Come on, be an orange. Be an orange. Oh, are you serious? That's awesome. I have so much better luck than Timothy, that's for sure. Now we go to the Dikes Fail phase. Let's draw 3 of them. We've got Geldersvalley. We have just Delta. And Vorn Duten Putin. We'll remove this dike from Vorn Putin. We can remove 1 of these dikes here in Geldervries. And then we have to place 1 of our water cubes in just Delta. And then that's going to water flow over to this region. Don't forget, Zeus of Lendrin also gets another cube. I just realized I had 8 cards in my hand, so I am going to discard this green card as well.
On my turn, I was going to be helpful and give Colin another orange card, but apparently he doesn't need me.
Nope.
So instead, we'll just do a little maintenance. I'm going to fly over to this port, then move to this land, and then for actions 3 and 4, I'll just take out these 2 water cubes. Next, we operate the pumps. I'll remove this water cube, and from this pump, I'll remove this water cube. And our trusty pump continues to play cat and mouse, removing 1 from here. Then I draw my player cards. Now we get another orange and a purple. Okay, let's see which dikes fail this time. We have Schönendovland and Veeringemeyer.
And Marksvard, yes.
Colin keeping me honest. I almost forgot that third one. I remove a dike from Vingermeyer and Markervard. I move this dike. And now we go on to the water flows. And the Nordsee is going to flow into here now that that dike was removed, which then flows into the neighboring lands.
Ugh.
This one already has one and this one already has one, so they don't. And then it's also going to flow back into Zeusvlanden, like we're used to.
My turn again, the port master. So I am going for my first action to come here. Because remember, the port master can go to other port. And then I'm going to take care of those 2 water that just came out and put a dike so we don't have any water flowing in anymore. And then we operate the pumps like usual. So here. As for the north, we take 1 out here and 1 here. Why not? And now I'm going to take my 2 player cards. Doesn't really matter because we already won. So green card. Come on. Okay, I'm just quitting that game. That is not right. That is definitely staged. Conspiracy here.
I think Timothy has drawn every single storm card, so we know where all the bad weather is coming from. Because, yeah, right now in Minnesota, it's going to be like -10 over the weekend, so yeah, we're going to blame that all on Timothy. Monica's going to grab that card from the bottom of the deck. Let's see what's going to get hit 3 times.
Oh,
a green location, West Brabant. We're pretty sure that's our first green that we've ever drawn in this game. So we're going to lose both those dikes, and then we place the second water. Now Monica is going to go ahead, grab those cards, and shuffle them up. Monica's going to draw our 3 Dikes Fail cards. We have Vornputen, Markslavard, and Schönendovland. We'll pull off a dike from each area, and unfortunately that's going to mean some water is going to flow. So we've got water coming in over here, and in Vornputen. Of course, these ones will still spread, so these are going to spread to here and here, and we're going to spread down. Oh, actually, we're okay. They already have 1 water over here. Oh, yeah. I would say, you guys, that the hardest part about this game is figuring out where the water flows. It's a great, cool mechanic, but sometimes it's really hard to see those regions, and so it's hard to tell where they're connected. So just be wary of that when you're playing this. You know what this means, though, you guys. We just won the game. I am going to go to this port over here with Timothy, hang out with him, tell him to stop bringing all the bad weather, because I'm going to discard these 5 orange, and we're going to create the final hydraulic structure. Now, normally, this structure, if we'd built it and wasn't the last one, we could place a dike adjacent to the sea on a bunch of different locations here on the left side. But we don't need to do that. We've automatically won the game. It's all over. High fives, you guys. Yeah. Did you guys like it?
I do. It's a different twist on the regular pandemic you're used to. I like, although it's hard to see where they go, I like the water flow mechanism. It's just hard to differentiate the different regions and make sure you don't miss any.
Yeah, but there's something about it that's just, it's very thematic. I think, Timothy, you said it really well when you said this is the most thematic pandemic you've played, right?
I think so. I mean, I didn't play Iberia, but I definitely like playing on my neighbor's land.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Belgian, so those are just like my neighbors.
And you're
I
throwing
love it.
storms at them? Jeez.
I know. But I love also the pumping. Like the pumping mechanism, you don't have to go there by yourself and like remove those stuff. You can just place those things strategically and they can pump those things out. That's really clever. Definitely the thing I enjoy the most.
Yeah, I have to say, I think we picked some of the best characters too. I mean, being able to create those ports so quickly, and then being able to build the pumps so easily, and then Monica could just hand out cards. Yeah,
Yeah, we never had to meet up to trade cards.
I don't think we ever did. We
I don't
never
think
did.
so.
Yeah, so.
That was really easy. Yeah.
But yeah, that's Pandemic Rising Tide. It's definitely a keeper for me. I'm gonna keep this one. It's a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. That is Pandemic Rising Tide. We will see you in our next playthrough series, aka when we finish Gloomhaven.